What up, YouTube? elleixstarcraft come back at you with another custom StarCraft 2 cast. Today we have yet again a 1 vs 1 matchup featuring the Scion Custom Races mod. So if you're new to this channel and you think you've lost your mind, rest assured you have not. This is a modded race, and this matchup in particular should be really interesting because it's a sort of play on a mirror matchup. It's the Protoss versus their sister race, the Keiron. Let's go ahead and introduce our players. Spawning on the top left-hand side of the map, it's our yellow Keiron player U going up against his opponent. Spawning on the bottom right-hand side of the map, it's our red Protoss player Cognite. I did cast these players in my last video, but I could not resist going for another Scion cast. I feel like it's been too long since I've given this mod the proper love it deserves. Now, something interesting on the mini-map immediately, it's a proxy gateway coming out from our red Protoss player. This is going to be hilarious. We don't see a lot of proxies or proxy plays in these modded games. This is going to be awesome. Taking a look at what yellow is doing, looks like U is throwing down an expansion. Now, many of you are familiar with the Chiron at this point, but if you are not, you do kind of build structures at a distance, or you have the ability to. Here we go, this is a good example, but you still have to commit that worker for the duration of that build time. So it's a sort of mix between warping in a structure and building it. You can also build from high ground to low ground and vice versa. So if you got vision on the high ground, you can do some crazy kind of cannon rush equivalents. Now the stalker running across the map. What do we have actually in terms of army supply? We don't have any army supply for our yellow Keiron player. You immediately running away that converter, the probe equivalent. It will go down though. 2 volts being warped in to the natural base location. Now we will talk about the macro mechanics in a second for the Chiron. Looks like a cataract here as well, which is typically an anti-air unit. It does shoot down though. I think it does 11 ground damage and like 9 air damage, but its weapon speed is 0.25% faster against air. Now, if you guys noticed, very briefly, we saw it again. You warp in units around your citadel. So once again, it's like a mix between the Zerg and the Protoss in this case, I guess. I guess the first time I made that comparison, it was Terran and Protoss. So their macro mechanics are kind of like a mix between the Protoss and the Zerg. You rely on your citadel to warp stuff in, and your macro structures basically give you larva, but it's not larva, it is a warp charge. And then once you have a warp charge, you can warp stuff in around the citadel. So you don't really see a lot of cheese from the Chiron because it would be like building a hatchery across the map. You would need to build a citadel if you want to do something crazy. Now we've got Adepts warping into the main base, and I don't know if you noticed that. He does notice it though, or he did notice it, and throwing down a pulsar, an anti-ground unit which can move and attack, as we just witnessed. And these stalkers right here, do we have blink on the way? Or actually, wait a minute, no we don't. We've got amplified spear right here, which does increase the attack range of the cataracts. But what do we have here? Okay, it looks like blink is being researched. The proxy gateway has not been noticed. This converter once again going down, or another one going down, but once again denying the placement of that third base. A Crux here immediately getting destroyed. Now the pulsar, it does have a short range as you just saw, but the ability to move and attack at the same time is really powerful. Now this second base is chilling, but I think we will see a third base coming down for our red Protoss player. So kind of like the pseudo cheesy play from Cognite, but taking a look at the total supply, it's almost identical, 61 to 57. Now 69 nice to 57 in favor for our yellow Chiron player. Finally, the third base coming down. Oh, here we go. I was like, where is the converter? He is literally munching on the building of the citadel. Okay, more edifices being placed down. These are kind of like your warp gate equivalents or gateway equivalents. They will build tier 1 units, or give you charges for the tier 1 units. My God, what am I saying? By the way, we are very close to 10,000 subscribers. I've said it multiple times now, but it is crazy how close we are. If you're enjoying this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And big shout out to my members and patrons. I really appreciate you guys as well. If you want to become a member, you do get early access to all my long form content. So just something to keep in mind. This probe getting immediately deleted before being able to place down that shield battery. And now the third base is under fire by the cataracts and the volts. Both of these units, as far as I know, shoot up and down, and indeed they do. Not that it matters too much, because this is a very ground heavy army for our Protoss player. The blink forward trying to take out some of these units. Looks like all the volts have gone down. The cataracts running away. You kind of briefly deciding to maybe pull back and attack, and actually waiting until the pariahs could come and support this. The pariah, it's like a mix of a zealot and an adept. You guys saw it. They have a short range shade ability that operates a lot faster than the adept, but it doesn't have nearly the range. So it's kind of like, I don't know, a more aggressive version of shade. It's the projection ability, and they can actually move through other units when they do it, which is also really cool. So you couldn't block off like your ramp with a probe or something if you had a wall up here. Nope, you could shade right through it, or project right through it in this case, which is really cool. It's a nice kind of alternate take on the adept mechanics. Now we've got a lot of stalkers here on the way towards the third base location for our yellow Keiron player. Cognite going for a very, very aggressive blink stalker build. I feel like Cognite is really into the mono builds from what I remember. I feel like I watched him do some Chiron play, and he did like a mono build of bolts, and it was insane. It actually worked way better than I expected. More pariahs being warped in around the Citadel. Got some blink micro here from our red Protoss player. Cognite deciding to take a little bit of a break and actually giving you some time to reinforce this third base location. This proxy was still not spotted, which is hilarious. These pariahs here trying to get entry to the natural base location and were promptly denied. 9 workers killed total by red and only 2 killed by yellow in this game. Now, you may be wondering what this circle is. That is the Oculus right here. So this grants vision for an area that is virtually permanent until you destroy the Oculus. It's really annoying to deal with. Oh man, I love that projection ability. It looks like a lot of the pariahs did go down though, so I think that engagement did favor our Protoss player. These adepts are thinking, what the hell are those things? We want that tech. Now, taking a look at the resources lost, 3,500 resources lost to 2,700 in favor for our red Protoss player. Base number 4 now coming down for Cognite. Base number 4 already finished for you, and you finally spotting this proxy warp gate at almost 10 minutes into the game. These pariahs are so angry. Look at them go. Finally taking out that warp gate. That will help out you just a bit, although I feel like that warp gate wasn't necessarily being used at this point in the game. Okay, so base number 4 not yet finished, just about 3/4 of the way done, and the Colossi are on the field as well. We got some High Templar on the way, Glaives also on the way, as well as Thermal Lance. And I think, what is this? 1-1 on the way for our yellow Keiron player as well. We only have 1 attack upgrades right now, 1 ground attack upgrades for our red Protoss player. Oh, I like this though. Just as this Nexus finished, the pariahs spotting it. I think these are more harassment units though, so I don't think they will take out this this Nexus. You immediately recognizing he overstayed his welcome and decided to run away, but more pariahs on the right-hand side as well, getting spotted by that hero pylon, and another pariah here spotting what would be the potential 6th base location. We don't even have Storm, do we? Let's take a look, actually. No, we don't. So the Templar are being used for the Archons. Oh, what is this? I missed this. It looks like a Zealot run by into the main base. How many workers killed at this point? 18 workers killed by red. A big warping of volts to take care of this. Luckily for you, a lot of these minerals are already mined out. Oh, okay. a little bit of drifting on that Warp Prism. I've never seen that bug before. But the Warp Prism drifting around. This Warp Prism is just aura farming at this point. This army under fire from the Protoss lasers. So much splash damage from those Colossi. You forced to retreat to the third base location once again and reinforce this army. I feel like he needs to tech up to answer these Colossi. The Warp Prism drifting around. There is so much chaos on the map right now. A big warp-in as well, but it looks like Cognite deciding to cancel that. Oh, I think that ability that we just saw, I didn't get a good look. I'm pretty sure that was from the Crux. I think that was the Lightning Bolt. So it deals 80 damage to a primary target and can bounce to 2 additional enemies, dealing 40 damage to each. So it's almost like this pseudo chain lightning ability. Oh, I like the placement of the photon cannon already with 3 kills. How many workers killed at this point? Only 4 workers killed by yellow, 25 killed by red. I don't know who's going to be coming out ahead in this game, though, because even though Cognite destroyed a lot more workers, look at the total supply, 150, almost 159 to 141. So a supply lead for our yellow Keiron player. It looks like there was an attempt here to do some damage, but the Volts are just chilling in the natural base location. Oh, this is one action-packed game. Is this the same Warp Prism that's drifting around? I don't even know anymore. I think it might be going towards the bottom side of the map for some reason. I think it's probably going to be going for maybe a Colossus drop. It does have a Colossus in the cargo bay. That'll be interesting to see. I like the kiting here for you, just out of range of those Colossi, able to take out quite a few Zealots, actually. This Pariah here, just on vacation right now. It has the best job in the StarCraft world because he's the safest at this point. And he's got a little tail, which I never noticed. Also very cool. Okay, where is this Warp Prism? Okay, the Warp Prism drifting towards towards the main army, but getting spotted by this Oculus circle. There's actually 2 of them, and dropping off the Colossus and warping in. A few more High Templar actually will likely make a couple more Archons out of that. I love the use of the Warp Prism. I feel like we don't see it used aggressively enough in StarCraft in general because it's such a good unit for reinforcing the Protoss army. It's almost too good if you can keep it alive. I like it's just driving backwards now. I'm so sorry. I'm so distracted by that Warp Prism. A lot of the Protoss stuff going down, though. You making a ton of Cruxes, and I think it's kind of saving him. The Warp Prism with a very dead Colossus in the cargo bay, running back home. Some Volts here on the top, or I guess middle right-hand side of the map. Zealots, though, being warped in, able to take out some of these units, but this base, I don't know if it's going to get canceled or not. I would almost just cancel it. I'd be too scared to let it finish. But it looks like Cognite is not as scared as I would be, deciding to let it finish, and I don't necessarily blame him because he's got 3 Colossi to support this side of the map. The total supply is looking relatively even, all things considered, 145 to 155 in favor for our red Protoss player. Another big warp-in of units here, and it looks like, oh, yep, nullifiers. These are our kind of photon cannon equivalents. They only shoot down, though, so keep that in mind if you play this. You have the nullifier, and you have, oh, man, I can't remember what the other one was. It is your anti-air static defense. I know the interdictor for the Genetron is the anti-air ones, but I can't remember what it is. Oh, man, we'll find out. We'll find out. I don't think you necessarily has a reason to build anti-air static defense, though. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, never mind. That's also a nullifier. I mean, maybe you could use them to go against the Colossi, but the Colossi are like ground and air simultaneously, so it doesn't really matter too much. Here we go, though. The nullifiers getting outranged by the Colossi with their thermal lance. And the Crux is being warped in here at, I don't even know what base this is, like base number 6 or 7, I think. A lot of the static defense, though, getting destroyed by these Colossi. Yu is kind of just chilling right now, not really keen on engaging this army directly, and I don't necessarily blame him. Maybe throwing, like, some Thunderbolts on these Colossi would do the trick. We'll see if that's what Yu opts to do. The Pariahs projecting in to this army. I think we saw maybe a Thunderbolt on the Archons, but I did not get a good look, unfortunately. Oh man, I think this army is looking mighty scary for the red Protoss player. A big warping of what appears to be charged zealots, and indeed they are. I think Cognite has his eyes on this base number 7/6. More Cruxes being warped in here as well. They are very full on energy though. We also have Beholder, so the Crux gains detection for 15 seconds, which isn't as necessary. I feel like Lightning Bolt might be the ability to use, because you could just bounce the damage off of these Colossi. The supply is almost identical. For a second it was like 134 to 135. Now we're at 155 to 130 in favor for our yellow Keiron player. On top of all the chaos, looks like you going for the attack here, but the Dark Templar being warped in. What a great response by Cognite, taking out all those units. It looks like all these Protoss units going down, though. Disruptors here on the back of all this, trying to do some damage and actually doing a decent job. But Cognite throwing out the GG in a twist. My money was on the red Protoss for a second there. Big shout out to my members and patrons once again. I really appreciate the extra layer of support. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, please consider shooting me a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.